I want to get into really part two, okay, of this. And that's really defining your strategy and never apologizing. Now, part one was kind of generic, right? Not generic, but it was kind of an overview. It was kind of the 60,000 foot view of this. But, it's pretty simple, everyone here. I think that too many people try to make things too complicated within your business. I think you try to sell too many things. I personally think you're trying to market to too many different people. You don't know who you are. You don't know what your margins are. You don't know, specifics. And, that whole keep it simple superstar method, the KISS method, it really actually plays very, very well inside of our industry. So, defining your strategy is so very important, and actually working on the business instead of in the business. Last year, we lost an important cog in our company. And I had to spend 3 months in the business, not on the business. And it was really tough. I think it stunted our growth a little bit. But if you bring it back to defining a strategy for your organization. Now, if you're just a seller on this call, what I would do if I were you, I would try to find, okay, what solution out of the catalog of 200 can you find that's going to solve a problem? Really truly understand how does this solve a problem, and then secondly, how can I look at a vertical and then become the leader in that vertical on solving that problem. Okay, you got to think about this, right? Let's first go back to defining your strategy. First and foremost, there are too many people here that are just doing the exact same thing over and over and over again, and you're expecting the same results, right? You're either marketing here and there, or you're doing something, but you don't have something that is different. You don't have a strategy, right? But you also don't have a simplified strategy, and that's what we need to work on. We need to work on your business first of all, and reset and look at the fundamentals. But what I would do if I was in your situation, and our guidance to really help even our partners out, is you want to create simplified packages. If you go to our website, just for example, you'll find 3 packages there, okay? It's 3, 6, or 9. That's what it is, okay? That's what we do. That's what we do. We do it very well, right? But it's just like that. And my guidance is not just to teach, how to, increase your sales by 40%, but to actually, it's in our own image. We're successful because we know what we're doing. We know how to do it. We're filling a need, and we're appealing to partners out there. I'm not appealing to you. This is not a sales pitch, but we understand what we're doing, and that's what you need to really kind of figure out. So what I would do if I was in your situation, or a situation of an MSP, or even a seller that is in your side of your organization, I would start trying to figure out, okay, how can I simplify some of the stuff that we do, right? And what could it be, right? And it could be something for manufacturing. It could be a data analytics play. It could be, like using Azure Sentinel, right, kind of as a piece, right, and creating a security, managed service, right? Managed services. And I'll give you an interesting quote. I was just talking to a venture capitalist friend of mine just the other day, and they're part of a consortium that actually buys lots of MSPs, really, right? And so it's good to know these guys. And he told me, he said, Sherman, our valuation and what the multiples that we're providing is really only 2 to 1 on a general MSP, but really the companies that we're providing 6 to 1 multiples on EBITDA are the companies that are managed security providers, managed services security providers, MSSPs. And why is that? Because you're focusing on little things. The margins are much greater on that managed security service, right? But that's a differentiator, right? And so we're hearing that term more and more, but what we're doing, I think those companies are simplifying, right? They're simplifying things. So first and foremost, we want to create some simplified packages. Do a basic, a medium, a large, and there's a methodology behind packaging. And I'm going to give you a little secret here. It's a psychological secret, okay? And this is important to really understand. You want to have a micro package. And in the vein, I'll explain to you a story. Look at Salesforce. Salesforce is incredible CR. I mean, I got to be careful with this one because I love Dynamics, and we use Dynamics, by the way, Microsoft. But just look at Salesforce marketing here. Salesforce, anyone can sign up for Salesforce. It's real simple, real easy. It's free until you actually want to send contacts. right? So it's easy to get on. It's based on sales, based on contact management, based on that. It's a basic package, and you're just bringing people in. But as soon as people want to actually do something, boom, you have to go to the middle package, right? And that's 10 users for $100 a user. It's $1,000 a month, right? And then they have the Big Daddy package. So your first package is a basic package, okay? It's something that is a honeypot, okay, that gets people in. It's simple, it's small. Now, you don't want to give things for free. I'm not saying that, give it for free. What you want to do is create something that's going to create a revenue stream where now you can start evaluating your customers. So I'll tell you one thing, using the tips that I have will break a lot of you MSPs, because you're not built to bring in 20 customers at one time. So what you want to do before you can build out that muscle, you want to create micro packages where people come in, they bite, they actually get something. You can evaluate them over a 3 to 6 month period, right, for their intro, taste, and whatnot, and then you can see if they're a great company too. You're evaluating them, but you're bringing them in on a micro, right? Then what you want to do is after the micro, you actually want to put them into your medium package. That's where the money is being made. That's where your margins are at 52, 53, 54%. Okay, you want to have an optimize or accelerate package, right? Or something like that in the middle, right? And then you want to have a very large package. Now this is the methodology. This is the psychology behind that. Okay, you want to have something that is typically 3 times the cost of your beginner package, and there's a reason why. Because everybody wants the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. We all want that S-Class, right? We do. We all want that. But what percentage of the people actually get the S-Class? No, they say, well, you know something, the E-Class is just fine. Let's go with the E-Class. But you want to set yourself up so that you can understand that you're pitching it that way. Okay, so people can understand. They're like, okay, but they feel more confident, and they actually end up going to where you want them to go, where you know your margins. We know that on our side, our margins are much higher on our optimized package, and I'm very transparent with what we do and how we do it. But we know that we would rather have everybody in our accelerate package, right, or our optimize, excuse me, our middle package, excuse me. But that's what you want to do. So you want to create simplified packages. You want to create a honeypot, right, that's going to do that. Now, another thing that we've done very well, and what you should be thinking about too, is finding creative ways to fund your services. So, we actually just talked to, a couple other different distributors, right? And I'm going to give you one. We actually talked to Fortinet as of, about 3 months ago. And we're working with a partner that's the #2 Fortinet company in the country, right? Number 2 Fortinet delivery company in the country. And I said, hey, why don't we call Fortinet and see if they'll fund some of these market development or some of these CIEs, these hands-on labs, because you know something, we can do a joint venture with them. So you have to start thinking a little bit outside the box, okay? A little bit outside the box. You have to start thinking, okay, how can we possibly team up with other people, team up with other partners, right? Team up with those different people to find creative ways, right? What we do is, if you're a managed partner, we use PACE funding to offset us, or co-op funds, which are going away, unfortunately. But we're looking for ways to always be a part of the partner. And one thing that I always do, and I think it's being genuine, with people. We always look to help our partners save money. Like if I can get a manufacturer to pay for the service, I will. If I can get another distributor or whatever to help out with stuff, I will. Why not, right? Why don't we ask? Plus, we're helping them out too. It isn't something that's deceptive or anything. We're helping both people win, on this thing. So that's what I want to talk about, is just finding creative ways to fund your services to go to market with. Next is truly understand what your product or service will do for the customer. Too many of you sit there, and I'm not pointing any fingers, but too many of us, think that, okay, well, we do managed services the best. Great. Well, and if you look at your website, what you're doing is you're just putting out there what you do, the same thing as 99% of the other managed service providers out there, SIs or ISVs. How do you differentiate, right? But really, what is your product going to do that's going to solve something for the customer, right? Because there's 2 ways of going or helping somebody out or gaining customers. I'll tell you, there's the one way, it's the blunt force method, right? Where you go up there and you take the hand and you grab the hand and you try to bring them with you and you say, come on, just come my way. Or the second way, which is, hey, hold on a second. Hey, let me show you something. And you put your hand around their shoulder and you say, hey, take a look, follow me. Follow me, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bring you to the promised land. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, two different completely ways, but understand that your product is going to help them because you can get them excited about it, right? What MDR product are you putting out there? Right now, Sentinel's super hot, right? Super hot, Power Platform, automating, Power Automate. How do we reduce expense, time frames, right? Super low, right? Or using, Windows Virtual Desktop to reduce costs. There's all these different things you can do, right? But you really truly understand how your product what will they do for the customer? What problem they're going to serve for their customer, right? So I have two things in there: understanding your product, and then what problem are you solving? If you're leading with anything else but a solution to a problem, forget it. Stop. You might as well just throw some money away. I'll be frank with you, because everybody else is doing that. They're dealing with product. But there really is not a solution, to what you're not helping anybody. And the quickest way to get somebody to say, hey, I need some help, is somebody, or not to ask you for help, is someone to trust you. Right? Trust you. That's why we do these hands-on labs, because we get people to trust us, to tell them what to do and what not to do, right? With that. So we want to make sure we understand that problem. And so you can tell people, because instead of trying to bring somebody, you become their friend. You're helping them solve a problem, and they're going to be much more likely to work with you or try to sign you up for that. And that coincides, I'll tell you one last point on that. Let me just make sure I'm on time here. What that coincides with is the way that you've already acquired your customer base right now. 90% of you have built a customer base with the I'm on fire method, right? Because what did you do? You solved a problem. The problem was they were down. There was a problem with that, so you want to make sure you do that. Okay. Now I want to touch on one other thing here, and that's marketing. Okay. It's very interesting. We were talking to a marketing company yesterday, and we were looking for keywords to help. We're always trying to help our partners out, trying to drive leads with, spending money here and there. And they came up with two companies that really weren't spending a lot. They're like, yeah, they're spending $2,000 a month on marketing, which is not bad. Okay, it's good. But then I said, well, hey, I want to go to and it was I looked up my buy Office 365. Okay, buy Office 365, right? Which is kind of known. And I looked up my choice, right? And then what they did is they did I don't know how they did it, but they figured out what their Google spend was, okay? How much did they spend per month, okay, on marketing? And it was $250,000 a month on marketing. Think about that. But just think about the volume that has to support $250,000 a month. Now, I'm not telling you to submit 200 or to spend $250,000 a month, but what I am telling you to do, okay, is you need to put a budget in place where you're spending 15% of gross revenue, okay, on marketing, and doing that on a consistent basis, and doing that for a full year. The biggest problem in our industry right now is partners are they're doing stop and start and stop and start and stop and start. They don't understand you have to continue something over and over and over again. It's all about being there when they are ready to make the decision. So it's not just the drip campaigns, but it's being there, doing follow campaigns, the find me, follow me, the ad tracking. You gotta be there, but you also have to spend the money. Okay, if you want to grow exponentially, you have to spend the money and you have to be consistent. So that was just an example, and I couldn't believe it. I saw, and this company I'm working with, like this genius company, they sent me a whole list of every word that they spent money on. Isn't that crazy, right? And it was unbelievable. Luckily, my choice doesn't do a lot of Azure spend, because they didn't really have any Azure words. It's really all Microsoft Office 365. So that's what I want to kind of cover here is really, look, this isn't rocket science, but too many people make it too complicated, or they're too, frankly, you're in control of your own destiny. They're either afraid to make that first step or they're not, right? And you need to make that decision. I tell a lot of people, there's dreamers and there's leaders in this world. The dreamers are the ones that talk about what they're going to do, and the leaders are the ones that do what they talk about. And you got to ask yourself the question: what are you, a dreamer or are you a leader today, right? And you got to jump. You got to do something about that. If you're stuck in a zero growth model, or you're kind of wondering what to do, how to do it, well, time to change. Time to actually jump in the darn fire and actually say, okay, I'm going to do it. I think my wife and family thought I was absolutely a nut job for moving from Microsoft, and actually starting this company. But I knew I could do it faster, quicker, better. Plus, I had a bit of a chip on my shoulders. I think my leadership didn't think I could. But anyways.